Hey, good morning, Turtle Riders. What's happening? We have a little breaking. There we go. Sorry about that's not good. We got to fix that. Give me one sec. Camera. That's a little better. Okay. Make sure my mic's on. All right, we're good. We're good. All right, cool. We got a little breaking news live stream, guys, about the Dasha Kelly update, the story there. As you guys know, over the weekend, I think it was on Saturday, CNN announced that they were investigating claims that Dasha Kelly, the Las Vegas mother of three, who raised $232,000, maybe probably more than that by now, dollars in a GoFundMe specifically because of CNN. Let's be clear about this. She had $0 going into this interview she did with CNN. It had been up for a month, according to her, a month. And she made $0, which begs the question, how did CNN find her? According to her, CNN just kind of showed up at her doorstep, which I do believe. I don't think that this woman has the resources to contact CNN. She's far from the only person, I'm sure, having a GoFundMe to save herself from eviction right now. It's just interesting, the timing with the eviction moratorium thing and the Cori Bush camp out. And my guess is that some CNN lackey was told to go on GoFundMe and just do a search for evictions and see what comes up. Let's do it right now. Let's actually do that. Let's go on GoFundMe right now. And let's see what we can find. GoFundMe.com. I'm kind of curious to see what happens. Share screen. Boom. So, okay. So let's look this up. Let's type into the GoFundMe search bar right here. Eviction. Let's see what happens. 18,743 evictions. GoFundMe's come. The very first one is Dasha Kelly's, however you pronounce it. So you can go on here and you can see all of these evictions. So you get to choose, like CNN, keep in mind, they are an agenda-driven network trying to push a certain narrative. So you got to have your pick. We have this appears to be a transgender one. Not bad. Okay, she's Latina trans. Surprised she didn't get the nod. We also have over here, we have Willie. Let's see what Willie's is. Willie's trying to avoid eviction. But he's not, nobody's going to feel sorry for a face like that. No. He won't do. How about this one? The Black Fairy Godmother Foundation. No. If you're eating that much food, no one feels bad for you if you're that fat. Sorry. We're going to have to find some. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Help Dominique rebound from eviction, but Dominique's only got one kid. So that's not going to do. What about this guy? Help JD. JD needs help with eviction. He needs to leave a toxic household, but you look at JD and no, thank you, JD. He looks like he's got some substance abuse issues possibly. And more importantly, he's a white guy. So that's just not going to cut it. But she's got to get a better cover photo. How did she get their attention with this freaking cover photo? That's what I want to know. But whatever. Bottom line is CNN showed up at her door and decided that she was going to be the face of the reason that we need an eviction moratorium extension. And CNN was going to do their part to spread that lie. They were going to, or that opinion. I guess it's not a lie. It's an opinion. They want this, eviction moratorium to extend indefinitely because, again, CNN's main concern isn't really keeping people from getting evicted. CNN's primary concern, as it has been for the last 15 or 16 months, has been to spread COVID fear porn. That is what they exist to do. They are a COVID, you might as well call them COVID news network. That's what they do. They are, and this all goes along with that because the idea has to be that people are still unemployed and cannot find jobs because of the pandemic, which is just completely untrue. Completely untrue. The pandemic, we found a way to live through it. Like business has gone back to usual. Stadiums are full. Schools have been open for quite some time. It's just a matter of masks and vaccines and stuff like that, but everything's open. And so there's really no reason not to work. But CNN wants to make you believe that this is, people like Dasha Kelly cannot find work because of the pandemic. That is what they're trying to do. So they announce, they go to her house, they find her, and they do that sit-down interview there. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. That British guy goes in there or whatever, and she pretends to cry and all that stuff. And then they pimp out her GoFundMe for the first time. And it had been up for a month at that point. That I did not know that. That GoFundMe had been up for a month. So now they raise all this money and they go on Erin Burnett. And by the time they were on Erin Burnett's show, they had raised like, I don't know, $70,000 or $80,000. And during the show itself, they raised $10,000. So that's the kind of power that, CNN has. I mean, CNN has a large platform. They're going to get, even though they have bad ratings in comparison to other news networks, they're still going to have a lot of people that watch it. And so you can share the story and the single mother of three thing and the crying on command, that works. It sells, baby. They know it. Dasha Kelly knows it. Erin Burnett knows it. They all know it. They're all in on this together. So you guys, what you guys did when I found out last week that Dasha Kelly is not the mother of these three children. She's not. She lied. She made that all up. And that she's not single. That's another lie that's kind of being overlooked here. That matters. The fact that she's not single. Nobody feels sorry for a woman who's got a male with them, who lives with them, and can't pay their bills. Because people are going to point to that and be like, well, you got a man. You know how many single moms there are out there that are really struggling, that don't have another income stream helping them out? You do. What's your excuse? Why can't? So she had to hide that. That's a very underrated aspect of this. Obviously, lying about the kids is the primary problem here. But lying about not having, being single and not having a man in her life, that matters too. That factors into the equation. So she lies about all this, and you all get out there and you just, Turtle Rider Army out there on Twitter was fantastic. You guys were just relentless. Every time people were searching Dasha Kelly on Twitter in the search bar, seeing what comes up and just responding to every fraudulent blue check mark out there who was promoting this lie, this nonsensical lie. And finally, you guys mass reported to GoFundMe. It caught their attention and they began to review it. And so CNN does this update the other day that I did on the show. Do we have the update? Let me find the update real quick. They did this update. I showed this on the live show the other day. I'll show you what they posted. Share screen. Here's their update. CNN is investigating claims that Dasha Kelly may not be the mother of the three children featured in the story. We have been unable to contact her despite repeated attempts. GoFundMe told CNN it is also looking into the claims and has not released any of the funds raised. How stupid is she for not withdrawing that money? What an idiot. She got greedy. She could have had some of that money and there'd be nothing GoFundMe could do about it. Although then it would be a crime, a much bigger crime. I don't know if they can get her on something because if she hasn't collected the money, I don't know if they can get her on a crime yet. She tried to defraud, but it didn't work out. But so shame on me, silly me, for thinking that CNN was actually going to investigate this, because it's CNN. They're going to go into it with the agenda. They are going to look for a way to still cover their ass and make this woman look sympathetic. No, we didn't mess up. It was just some wording was wrong, and the premise of the story remained the same. So here is CNN's updated version of the story that came out last night. And I was going to wait and write a blog about this, but this is we've gained a lot of new subs in the last 24 hours from a couple of YouTube streamers. Thank you guys for sharing that out there, helping us get the story out there, who are into, exposing scams. And if you're new here, this is what we do at Turtleboy. This is what I've been doing for 7 or 8 years. This is my job. This is my livelihood. I love doing it. We expose people like Dasha Kelly on a regular basis, all genders, all races, all creeds, all religions. If you're lying and scamming innocent people, we're going to investigate you, especially if the mainstream media is covering for your ass. So this is the story that CNN puts out. Let me read it to you. It says, more than $170,000 raised in 24 hours for Las Vegas woman facing eviction. Last Monday, Dasha Kelly was facing eviction and didn't know how she was going to pay her back rent. A day later, thanks to strangers, more than $170,000 has been raised so far. No, not thanks to strangers. Thanks to CNN. Thanks to CNN. The strangers only knew about it because of CNN. On Tuesday, Kelly sat on her couch, one of the last pieces of furniture left in her apartment in Las Vegas, and was told how much money was raised. She was left speechless after CNN's Erin Burnett told her the amount. I just want to tell everybody thank you so much. I'm still in denial. Kelly was joined by her, and now here's the edit. Here's the edit. Notice they don't put an editor's note at the top of this or anything. They don't republish the story. They took their same exact story, and we're going to see they slightly changed the headline, and then they put in some new text here. So this is their new version of the story. Kelly was joined by her boyfriend's 3 daughters, who she now knows the names of, who say the boyfriend was never mentioned in the first story. And it was also not mentioned that they were his kids, not hers, who she says cares for part-time. The family was featured in the CNN story that aired on Monday about the federal eviction moratorium that ended this past weekend. Nowhere does it say that she was featured in a story that we misreported. We got the story wrong. They're not going to reshare this story. The story is past. It's a week old. They got their likes. They got their shares. They got their comments. And that's how the mainstream media always does their business. They put out the fake story first, and then they issue a small correction that nobody sees. They don't publicize it, and the damage is done. These people, you can love, and I saw people in some of the comments and some of the other YouTube streams saying this. They're like, I hate to side with Trump, but he's right. CNN is fake news. And that's like, you can love or hate Trump, whatever. That is probably his greatest accomplishment as president. That's what I took from his presidency more than anything, is like, I knew that the news was biased prior to Donald Trump being president, but I didn't know they literally just made shit up all the time, routinely. It's what they do for an agenda, and it's evil, and it's meant to divide us along political lines. America has never been, well, actually, I mean, we did have a civil war, so I don't want to say that. I don't want to be hyperbolic about this. But in my lifetime, America's never been this divided politically, ever. People hate each other. I think social media has had a lot to do with that, just amplifying voices and people trying to get likes and shares and stuff like that. But also the media has done their part, just throwing the gasoline on the fire and just stepping back and watching everybody else do it for them. And this is a prime example of that, a prime example. So she says last year, the 32-year-old said she lost her job as a card dealer when the pandemic forced casinos to shut down. So notice, nowhere in this correction does CNN ever say, CNN has investigated this and found out that she worked at this casino, which is one of my primary objections when I first looked into this story. And so they still have not covered that aspect of it. They're just taking the word for it. The woman who lied to their face many times before is just being honest about being a car dealer. She was never a car dealer. That never happened. She was never laid off. Look at the first blog we did on her. She's a bootleg OnlyFans account that wants to be a model. That's all she is. She doesn't have a job. Stop it. She is one of the more than 11 million Americans that are behind on their rent. And that is the bigger picture that they're going for right there. She's one of 11 million. So Dasha Kelly is the face of people who are getting evicted in this country. I had no idea what we were going to do. She started a GoFundMe last Monday night in hopes of raising $2,000. Just 24 hours later, it raised blah, blah, blah. Yes, because of us. She forgot to mention that. So it goes on to say, it gave me a lot of hope, and I just want to make sure I can do the best that I can to help the next person that is in my same situation. Yeah, I bet you do. GoFundMe tells CNN they are in close contact with Kelly, and the funds will stay on hold until they verify her information. What? And then at the end, both Shadia Hilo, the girl's mother, and Kelly tell CNN the girls will be returning to Hilo's home for the start of the school year. Who's the last paragraph? So these are the fake news reporters. Kimberly Berriman. We should go after them. Kimberly Berriman, Nick Watt, and Aya Alam Marusi. So not one, not two, but 3 CNN reporters it took to come up with this bullshit. I'm a guy in my basement with a laptop in Massachusetts, 3,000 miles from where this bullshit's going on, exposing the story for all it's worth. CNN is a multi-billion-dollar corporation with thousands of employees and all the resources in the world. And they need 3 reporters to cover this story, and they still can't do it right. They still can't do it right. Here's what CNN writes. GoFundMe tells me, these are some more updates from CNN Business. GoFundMe tells me they are in close contact with Kelly. Actually, let me go to the first one. Update. After CNN aired a story about her potential eviction, Dasha Kelly clarified to CNN that she is not the mother of the 3 children featured in the story. Oh, she clarified. This is like, we literally said that she was the mother of these 3 kids, but she clarified it now. She's not actually their mom. Minor detail. Oops. And she goes on to say, she clarified to them. First of all, I want to be on record to say that I don't believe that CNN talked to her. CNN initially in their update said that they're trying to reach out to her and can't. Does anybody believe they actually spoke? No, I don't believe that for a moment. I think that CNN is now well aware of what happened. They realize that this woman is not the mother, that she is the stepmother, except I don't know if you're really the stepmother if you didn't marry the father. I don't know how that works. But I think that they're just like, let's just run with that. Let's run with, we got a new story. We screwed up a little bit, but we got the basis of the story right. She cares about them and they love her like a mom. Let's go with that one. CNN has verified she takes care of the children in her home for periods of time. How did they verify that? Probably from watching the Turtleboy live stream the other night. That's what I'm guessing. Our interview with Shadia, because Shadia said in the interview that the mother, she is the mother rather, that the stepmother should, whatever her name is, Dasha, that, they know Dasha. She's been around a couple of years. They know her. So that is, CNN's like, we'll go with that. She says she originally described herself to CNN as a mother because she considers herself to be like one. Oh, so she lied because she thought she was this thing that she's not. What? What? Oh, so it's not a big deal. We just, you came up with this lie that helped you raise $230,000, but it's just it's a clerical error. It's a minor snafu. She considers herself to be the mom, therefore it is. I mean, these are the same people that believe that, men think they're women, so that they're women now. This is not surprising. This is an identity crisis. She thinks she's the mother, therefore she is. And who's to blame her? Who's to say she's not? She identifies as the mother. This is insane. Goodness gracious. CNN has learned that the children are also cared for by their mother. They learned it. Oh, yeah, the mother's around. Yeah, we learned it. We didn't report it in the beginning, but we learned it. And their father, David Allison, who, by the way, we've looked up this gentleman. He's got arrests for abusing animals. Like, this guy's a real scumbag. Maybe we'll do a blog on him, too. And their father, who's Kelly's boy. So where was the father in all this? When CNN came to their house and filmed, was he there? Or did he leave on purpose? I'm guessing the latter. Unless CNN actually knew. That would be an even crazier story. If CNN knew about him and they still reported this bullshit anyway, that would be wild. I have no proof of that, but I wouldn't put anything past CNN. My guess, though, is that that David Allison is very, very complicit in this whole scam. And David Allison knows that nobody's going to feel bad for a woman with a boyfriend, but people will feel bad for a single mom. So I'm going to go to the store real quick. I'm going to do a little Walmart run, and you do your thing here and let me know when the coast is clear. I'll come back. Okay. And then I'll bring the mattresses back too, because we didn't sell that shit. Come on. Anybody think she really sold her mattresses? Who the fuck sells their mattress, pawns their mattress? That never happened. That never fucking happened. I guarantee you she does not sleep on a goddamn fucking floor. Stop it. I don't care how poor you are. You can get a fucking mattress to throw in there. Okay. GoFundMe has, let's see here. GoFundMe tells CNN they're in close contact with Kelly and funds will stay on hold until they verify her information, whatever that means. Like, so is GoFundMe actually going to give her the money? What, like, if Dasha Kelly goes to GoFundMe and says, hey, I'm like a mom, will they give the money? I think they might, because GoFundMe is just another bullshit, social justice tech company that falls for nonsense like this all the time. Like, keep in mind, GoFundMe, I started, for you people who are new here, some transgender lunatic has been stalking my family out of Rhode Island for months and went and got a restraining order out of Providence Superior Court against me and a family member of mine. And they, like, without us having, like, he said that we were stalking him, her, I'm going to call him. Ashley St. Angelo said that we were stalking him and showing up at his house and throwing bricks through his windows, which is completely made up. I avoid Rhode Island like the plague. It's a terrible state. And but he got this order granted, and this judge was being a real hard ass about this. Usually these orders, you can go in there and fight them and it's dismissed the same day. Well, this judge is like, you need to hire an attorney. So I had to raise money. We raised $14,500 with GoFundMe in one day for legal defense fees. And GoFundMe took it down and didn't explain why. It was a completely legitimate GoFundMe. Okay. It is a completely Aiden Reed Dasha's update. I will in a moment. Okay. Could somebody send the GoFundMe so I don't have to look it up in the comments? That way I'll just bring it up there. But it was a completely legitimate GoFundMe and they took it down because they don't like people like I'm the wrong kind of guy. Look at me. I'm a white guy. I'm a 39-year-old white guy. I'm the bad guy. I'm the villain. Let's be honest. The other white guy, the 45-year-old white guy, Ashley St. Angelo, says he's a woman. So he's the good guy now. If you're a white guy who says you're a woman, then people like you. Okay, tech companies like GoFundMe, they will protect you because you just said you're a woman now. So you're no longer the bad. You're no longer the bad. You're no longer the patriarchy. You're actually more oppressed than women and people of color because you have a gender identity crisis. And so they took it down. I don't think this is going to get taken down. That's my guess right now. I'm calling it right now. Thank you, Amber. Let me get that out of comments. Okay. So let me see. And so before I go and check that up, let me just show you real quick the difference between these. Where'd it go? The headlines. Have that? Somebody, hold on. Let me get it out for you guys. One sec. Check this out. Look at these two headlines. First one is the original one. More than $170,000 raised in 24 hours for mother and 3 kids facing eviction. Second headline, more than $170,000. And by the way, it's $230,000 now. You should probably update that part. But they don't want to look as bad. Raised in 24 hours for Las Vegas woman facing eviction. Which of those two is a more sympathetic headline? Which one is going to draw in more donos? We all know the answer to that. This is what their correction looks like. They haven't shared this on any social media saying we made a mistake the first time around. We misreported this. What they should do is take the story down. Like that's what any reputable news outlet would do. But they have too much pride. And they're like, no, we kind of got it right. We kind of got it right. Yeah, she's not the mom, which is literally what we said in the headline. And let me show it. Let's rewatch the video. I'm going to rewatch the video. Let's rewatch this fucking video. We got to do this. I want to see exactly the wording that she used here. Let me change my mic here.
That letter is a 24-hour eviction notice.
And you guys honestly freaked me out when you knocked this morning. I'm not going to lie, because I'm really thinking they're coming at any moment.
To throw Dasha Kelly, who goes by Kelly, and her little girls, Sharon, Kia, and Imani, onto the street.
Her little girls.
Talking about it doesn't happen.
So let's be clear. Even if she was evicted, so that's the appeal of this. Kids getting thrown on the streets. No one gives a shit if this woman gets thrown on the streets. Look at her. But people care if those kids get thrown on the streets. But the fact is, even if this was true, those kids aren't getting thrown on the streets because they have a mother who has a roof over her head. They would go there. Kids ain't going on the street. Ain't happening. That's a lie. Lie number one.
No, Kelly, listen, we're sorry to... Yeah.
You know what's happening when you start talking about it? It's different. It's like it's bringing all of my emotions back.
I'm sorry.
Kelly was a casino dealer here in Las Vegas. Loved it.
I'm automatically, come on, please win. I'm rooting for you. Like, as soon as they bust, I'm upset too. I win.
She lost her jobs, now has no car, and no money for childcare.
It's this tiny virus that has come along and just...
taking everything. I just had to donate a few days ago.
Kelly is now donating blood plasma, $100 a time, to buy groceries.
So you are managing to eat okay?
I don't believe that for a second.
Oh yeah, they're eating okay. Let's put it that way. I'm like, there's days I don't even want to roll out the bed, roll out the floor. You get what I mean.
Kelly's pawned or sold nearly everything she had.
I had a bed right here. There was a TV right here on top of this stand, so I had to pawn that.
She thought about working online, but...
You lost your laptop as well?
Oh, I had to pawn that trying to keep up with the bills. So...
Okay.
This is the girls' room.
They used to have their bed right here, and they used to have a little chester.
Not anymore.
I'll sacrifice my couch. As you can see, it's a little beat up now, just so they don't have to lay on the floor because they're so tiny. 1, 2.
More than 11 million Americans are reportedly behind on their rent. Congress approved 47.
Blah, blah, blah.
Apparently, it's a process.
Back.
Apparently, it's a process, like 2 to 3 months.
Midnight Saturday.
Do they know what's going on?
Not really. That's something I'm afraid of telling them. How do you explain that to your kids?
Your kids. How do you explain that to your kids? They're not your kids. They're Shadia's kids. They're not your kids. Stop it.
I mean, I don't have any words. I think I'll just break down crying and just hug them, I guess, and let them know everything's going to be all right and we're going to figure it out, I guess.
So let's watch the other one.
Now, Dasha Kelly has started a GoFundMe page to try and cover that rent, $2,000. It's a Hail Mary. She says she's praying for a miracle, hoping for a miracle. The other thing she's hoping for is that more people would just wear masks. That way...
There's the agenda. There's the agenda. If they would just... That's why CNN is covering this story. Because that's the whole purpose of this, was the end there. They don't give a shit about evictions. They don't care about that. They care about the masks and COVID. And if people just wore their masks, this woman would not be getting evicted from her apartment. That is the message that they're sending right there. God, these people are evil. The fact that they take themselves so seriously is fucking hilarious too. It's absolutely hilarious. So let's watch the Aaron Burnett clip again, now that we know everything.
Things to hear, Kelly. What do you to hear, Kelly? What do you say to them and others like them who reached out to you?
You know,
I just want to tell everybody thank you. Sorry, excuse me. I just want to tell everybody thank you so much. I'm still in denial if you can't really tell. It's a lot to take in. It's very sorry, girl. It's really overwhelming. These are tears of joy, trust me. I'm just so thankful. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I would especially like to thank, I don't know if I can, but Kim, the one who reached out to my family. I'm Kim? So thankful.
So Kim is the reporter.
I'm so thankful for you guys because I had no idea what we were going to do. She's
like, jackpot.
Just overnight, all you guys just reached out and helped us and all the support, your encouraging words. It's just gave me a lot of hope. And I just want to make sure I do the best that I can to help the next person that is in my same situation. And I just felt really blessed, and just thank you guys so much. Honestly, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
No, of course, Kelly, of course.
Of course.
Please stay with me, you and the girls, because there's someone else I want to bring
I care about you so much.
to this conversation.
Oh, look who it is, the fairy,
the woman, frankly,
ratchet,
that
the
we need
ratchet
to
fairy
thank for
godmother
this new
herself,
eviction
Cori Bush,
moratorium.
sprinkling taxpayer dollars everywhere. Here she comes. Here she comes. Here's good old Chuck trying to avoid getting primaried by AOC. I care. I'm hip. I'm Chuck Schumer. I'm down with the young folks too. You're a hero, Cori Bush.
That is, of course, the
Please don't
Democratic
endorse
Congresswoman
AOC.
Cori Bush, who spent days camping out on the Capitol steps, sleeping there to bring attention to the issue. Congresswoman Bush joins me now. And Congresswoman, wow to you. How does it feel to hear this, to hear this
look at
news
me.
of this
I'm a fucking
moratorium
hero.
tonight? Thanks
I'm
to
a
you.
hero.
I'm elated, and I'm overwhelmed, because just the thought that so many people right now, millions of people, will not be forced out on the streets. I know we still have work to do, but just to know that this is something, this type of advocacy from the whole community is what could have saved me from ending up on the street, could have saved so many others. And so now that we have the opportunity to help, because we're in position, I'm just so thankful that families like Kelly's family get to
Kelly's
stay in their
family.
homes.
That
We
ain't her
shouldn't have
family.
to come to this, but I'm glad that we're here.
So, Kelly, the Congresswoman saw
Why did she go by
you
Kelly?
last night on the
That's
show,
weird, too.
in the piece about you and your girls. And she said about you and your children, I quote you, Congresswoman, we're working hard for you. And I know what it's like to be their mommy. Kelly, do you have anything to say to...
I know what it's like to be their mommy. There is a huge lie. Like, this is insane.
Congresswoman Bush tonight?
Yes, absolutely. It's an honor to even speak with you. I'm just so fortunate right now. This is beyond me. You don't understand. Like, when I put that up, I never thought that anybody would have reached out, especially CNN, and then to hear that a congressperson,
Especially CNN. Yeah,
my
right.
story reached you. This is just amazing. I'm so thankful for that. There's people like you out there. I'm so thankful for it. Thank you so much. I'm sorry.
Kelly, you and your
Apologizing,
family,
excuse me.
you and your family deserve representatives that care about you. Our country deserves to have representatives that represent. And so this is the least that we can do for you, is to step up and make sure that you get to stay in the safety and the comfort
That's exactly
of your
it,
home,
Laura.
while
That is
we work
exactly
on other
it.
things to help make sure
Dacia
that your life
is an
and the
original
lives
name.
of your children are better.
She's the
This
only
is
thing that's
our
going to come
work.
up.
So you don't even have to thank us. This is our work. This is the least we can do.
But
for
Kelly,
you.
there's a million people named Kelly.
Kelly, I just
That's
am
exactly
watching
what I thought.
So much.
your daughter who is reaching out to pet you.
Your
I
daughter.
think you were a little emotional there.
They're the sweetest.
Your wonderful
I don't know where I would
children.
be without
I
them, honestly.
so moved by
I don't know where I'd be without them. You've lived without them most of your life. Most of their life, you've lived without them. You don't see them that often. They're with Shadia mostly. I don't know where I'd be without them. It would probably be your average Tuesday if you were without them. That's where you would be. You'd be in the same spot. Well, where you'd be without them is, having less $230,000 less in your GoFundMe account. That's where you would be without them. So she has had several opportunities now to correct them, be like, oh no, they're actually not mine.
They are beautiful.
Yeah, there's
Smart,
someone else's.
wonderful little girls. I mean, I was looking at them.
Shut the fuck up.
Congresswoman, can I ask you? President Biden did admit, there's this wonderful news, but that a new eviction plan might not hold up in court. Here's
I like
exactly
how
what he
she
said.
calls it wonderful news too. Like, it's not so wonderful for landlords. Why are we acting like this is we all agree this is a good thing? No, this is a bad thing. This is a bad thing. Landlords have to pay mortgage. The bank doesn't say, it was a pandemic, so you don't have to pay us. Don't worry about it. You're good. You're good. Landlords are losing their shit over this. They're going bankrupt. How about CNN does a story about that? But no, nobody gives a shit about landlords. Nobody gives a shit because you own land. You're part of the ruling. You're part of the middle class, and CNN is the ruling class, and they look down on the middle class, and they are going to use the lower class shitbags like Dasha Kelly as props to keep themselves in power. That's all this is. This is a power grab. So I just read the GoFundMe update. Let me share it. This is wild too. I'm surprised I missed this. Thank you for pointing this out, Amber. Let me read this to you. Hey, hello everyone. It is a complete honor to come into here and see amazing amount of support that we've received. This campaign was created solely upon desperation. I literally tried almost everything to earn income, except, get a job while taking care of my family, not, someone else's family, my family. Okay. I'm taking care of, they're mine. Prior to creating this, never in life did I think CNN would reach out to us when we posted. So there she's admitting that CNN reached out to her. Suddenly we received a message from CNN about a week ago wanting to share our story. Our GoFundMe account has only been receiving donations here for 3 days. So it's been up for a month and did not make any money and reached a number beyond belief. There were a lot of people who were so negative about our situation. Does it say the original date this was created here? Okay, it doesn't say the date. Okay. Let's see. There was a lot of people who were so negative about our situation and make a joke of it. However, majority of you understand and continue to help past our goal of $2,000. And can I ask, where did that number come from? The $2,000 number? She's behind 1 month in rent. How much is rent in Las Vegas? That it's less than $2,000 to rent an apartment like that in Las Vegas. It's that cheap, and they're evicting you for being 1 month behind. None of this adds up. None of it adds up. Our bills will be paid now, and the landlord that has been so great to us, yeah, right, will now be paid off for the entire lease. We can now furnish the house back. My family can afford a vehicle again, which will allow me to return to work. So that there's no public transportation. She couldn't get to work prior to this. Right. And remember, she said that she didn't say she lost her job because she didn't have a car. She said she lost her job because of the pandemic, which is two completely different things. We also will be paying forward and donating to charity and another family who is also in dire need. Oh, yeah? Who's that? I'm going to open an account for each girl of $5,000 so that it can build until they are 18. They will be receiving new clothes, shoes, and a few toys. We also create a family rainy day fund of 50 grand. What? Never would I ever want these girls to struggle and be judged like I did. Thank you for your overwhelming support and kind words. We did not expect a reaction like this at all. This family is forever blessed, and we will spend as much time possible helping someone else out. Without the amazing love of people, we wouldn't exceed our goal, blah, 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 blah. We are working on ending this campaign. It takes 2 to 5 business days for the bank to connect with GoFundMe and release the funds. We are trying to get the fuck out of here. We are trying to get the fuck out of here. So, yeah, people are still donating. Single mom, like, my name is Ashley Queen. She's asking she donates $5 so that he'll donate to her. That's actually kind of smart. Look at these poor idiots who don't know how to Google. Sending money in, all these idiots, morons. Okay. Created July 14th. What's today? August 9th? July 14th. So it has been almost a month since this was created. This is literally what happened. This is fucking crazy, guys. Crazy. So anyway, I want to do that update. I woke up to this. I'm like, I got to go live about this. I can't wait till tomorrow night to talk about it. But smash that subscribe button for me, guys. I will be here I do this live stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday night at 9 p.m. So smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, And we break stories like this all the time, baby. I got more stories coming. Trust me. We expose scam artists for a living. So anyway, we will see you guys shortly. I'll have a blog coming on this after this. YouTube subscribers get all the content first, but we will have a follow-up blog coming shortly. Peace, Turtle Riders.